I have found out some very disturbing news today. I did not know that there were this many problems out there on cruise ships, but it's okay. It is going to be okay because we have the experts that are going to let us know what needs to change, the experts that are here to help us do it right, the experts that will always say, just ask anybody and they will agree with me. So don't worry, they got us covered for today. Good Sunday morning, everybody. Chris here with High Seas Cruising, and welcome to this week's episode of What Every Cruiser Wants, the Survey Edition. And this is where the experts write in and say, this is what needs to change. This is how it should be. This is a problem on the cruise ship. It needs to get fixed, and you can ask anybody and they will agree with me. But it does make me wonder, and it does make me question, are they actually right? And does everybody actually agree with them? Well, you know what? Today's video, we're going to answer some of those questions. So let's get into it. Not everybody wants to hear swear words. Not everybody wants to hear political jokes, sex jokes, or adult-oriented jokes. That's okay. That's the beautiful thing about cruise ships. They have a family-friendly show where a lot of that doesn't happen, and then they have the adult comedy show, the R-rated comedy show. Meaning if you don't like one, you can go to the other. Nobody forces you to go to one you don't like. It's not like you're walking by, a crew member reaches out, grabs you, and drags you down and throws you into the adult comedy show, makes you sit there, makes you listen. Why? Because you have a choice. But that doesn't stop people from saying there should never be adult comedy shows. Why? Well, because I don't like them. Because I don't like these kinds of jokes. I don't think these kinds of things should be said by people. And if I don't like them, obviously nobody likes them and nobody wants it there. Right? And that must be true because they did ask specifically that. And they said only family-friendly comedy shows should be performed. Well, it makes me wonder, if you have a choice and you don't have to go and nobody forces you, why does there only have to be family-friendly shows? Maybe it's because nobody likes adult comedy shows. Maybe it's the adult comedy show happens, the room is just empty, the comedian's up there telling his dirty sex joke, and there's just crickets in the room because there's not a single cruise passenger there. That must be the case, right? Personally, I don't think that's the case. I've been in the comedy shows, family-friendly and adult. Always crowded. But let's take a look at the survey. Let's ask the question, is this person right? Is this person wrong? Do they know what's wrong on a cruise ship and how it should be fixed? And it turns out that apparently that is not correct. What a shock, what a surprise. 25,405 people voted, with the vast majority saying please keep the adult-only comedy shows, with just a small percentage saying that comedy shows should only be family shows, that they are a family cruise line, but have comedy shows full of swearing and sexual innuendos. So the people have spoken. The answer is there. The adult comedy shows need to stay. And if you don't like them, you don't want to see them, you don't want to hear them, a sex joke offends you, if bad words are going to make you swell up like a puffer fish, well then guess what? You don't have to go. Don't attend it. Don't go in the room. Don't listen to the show. Only go to the family-friendly one. What do you know? Problem solved. Is it not common buffet etiquette that if you're going back up to the buffet to get some more food, to get something else, that you get a new clean plate? Is that not just your basic etiquette rule, or do I only think that that's a basic etiquette rule? I know there's signs that say get a new plate each time, but I kind of thought that that was a common sense thing. But after what this person said, I don't know. I'm wondering if maybe it's just me that thinks that. I stood in line and was told at the buffet by a worker to go to the back of the line and get a new plate. This is BS. Is it BS though? Is it honestly BS that you went back up to the buffet with a dirty plate and you were told, hey, get a new plate before you come get some more stuff out of the line? Is that honestly BS? Do people think it's okay to take a dirty plate back to the buffet? I think it's kind of gross. Definitely a believer and just get a new plate. It's not that hard. It's not that difficult. But I'm wondering, am I in the minority on this one? Well, 29,333 people voted. And well, I guess I'm not in the minority. The very, very vast majority said if I want something else from the buffet, I will always get a new plate. I understand this is the correct protocol, with just a itty bitty number down there that said, I don't like to get a new plate when I go back to the buffet for something else. I should be allowed to use the same plate. So apparently, that is the proper etiquette. Apparently, I am not in the minority, and apparently, you should stop being gross and just get a new plate. I wonder if the person that wrote this is the same person that likes to touch the rolls, lick their fingers, and touch other rolls and put them back. I wonder if this is the person that wants to start eating right there on the buffet line, getting their food crumbs falling out of their mouth. I wonder if it's one of those people. Because there's just some things you are not supposed to do. And going back with a dirty plate, well, that's one of them. Why do people believe if you don't speak like them, act like them, and do it like them, you are obviously rude, you are obviously unprofessional? I just don't understand why people think like that, especially when it comes to cruising. Now, this particular survey that we're going to talk about, well, it comes from a comment that was directed at Carnival Cruise Line's brand ambassador, John Hill. He is English, lives over in the UK. And over in the UK, there are common everyday terms that they use that are not rude, not unprofessional. They're just different than what we say here. But it never stops somebody from just getting utterly offended. Mate was unprofessional and should not be used for Carnival Cruise Line customers. So we're talking about the word mate. And yes, John Heald does use the word mate when he's talking to people. But, is it considered unprofessional? I don't know. Let's take a look at the meaning of the word, the definition of the word. The term mate is commonly used in Great Britain, Australia, and New Zealand to refer to a friend or acquaintance. It can be used informally, but it is also acceptable in most formal situations. So when he responds over on his Facebook page and he uses the word mate, and mate is defined as friend, acquaintance, can be used informally, and can be used in a formal setting, please let me know, where is the unprofessionalism? What exactly is he doing wrong? First of all, he's not even American. He's British, and that is a word that they commonly use over in Great Britain. So I guess I'm missing where this is unprofessional. This is coming across more of, well, that's not how we do it in America. And don't you know that America is the center of the universe and you must do it my way or I don't like it. It's unprofessional. It is rude. Yet you choose cruising as your vacation where your crew members on board the ship are not going to be from America, where your senior leaders on the ship are not going to be from America, where your brand ambassador is not from the United States, yet somehow you think it's unprofessional and it's just wrong. But I'm willing to bet you are not in the majority. 17,076 votes, with the very, very vast majority saying using the word mate is fine. You can call me mate anytime you wish in your response to me. With just that itty bitty percentage saying calling a Carnival Cruise Line customer mate is unprofessional and should not be something you should be doing. I'm amazed at some of the things that bother people. I am amazed at some of the things that trigger people. So I want to make this person happy. I completely agree. We should no longer call them mate. See, I'm not from Great Britain. I'm not from Australia, and I am not from New Zealand, so I will not call you mate. I will give you the proper title, and that's going to be, thanks for your comment, jackass. And finally, for our last survey of the day, we are going to talk about prepayment of specialty restaurants. Now, for this subject, it didn't have a comment. It had a story. And this story begins on a Carnival cruise ship. You're going to have to use our imaginations here that we are up on the Lido deck of our favorite Carnival cruise ship enjoying our cruise vacation. And this cruise passenger and her two traveling companions, they booked the highly coveted chef's table reservation. Now, the chef's table has limited seating. Not everybody's going to get to go. Normally, there's a wait list. People want to go to the chef's table, but it's a small, intimate affair, so it sells out quickly. And the chef's table does have a prepayment requirement. You got to pay before you go, and it has a very specific cancellation policy. Now, the majority of cruise lines have a chef table. Majority of them you have to prepay for. They all have a cancellation policy. Shouldn't be a surprise. It's right there in black and white when you book it. So this cruise passenger and her two companions would have known this when they made their chef's table reservation. Now let's fast forward to the night of their reservation. People have arrived there for the reservation. They are beginning to start off with the galley tour when the hostess says, "Whoa, we are missing 3 people from tonight's reservation." So she rushes over to the phone. She dials their cabin to see, "Hey, what's going on? A reminder, you're supposed to be here at the chef's table." Well, this cruise passenger, she answers the phone. She says, "Oh, yeah, well, we had a very busy day in Cozumel today. We had a lot of fun, and we're not going to come to the chef's table because we are too tired. So we won't be there. Just refund us the money and everything will be good," right? Well, at this point, this is where everything goes wrong, at least in the cruise passenger's mind, because she is, of course, told, "No, you will not be receiving a refund. Tonight's dinner has already started and you didn't show up." Now, she was too tired to go to the dinner reservation, but she was not too tired to run on down to guest services to file a complaint that she wants her money refunded because she didn't go to the chef's table, and if she didn't go, she shouldn't have to pay. Well, shockingly enough, guest services also said, "No, you will not be getting a refund." So what do you do when that happens? The hostess has told you no refund. Guest services has told you no refund, but you're mad, you're angry. So let's take it to the internet. Let's put it out there on the internet because all of us folks at home will go, "Oh, we feel sympathy for you." And the people here watching, they'll get mad and they'll get upset. And the cruise line, well, they'll cave. Well, as it turns out, that plan has not worked for her either, and she's still not getting a refund. Let's keep a couple things in mind. She didn't cancel ahead of time. She did not even get back on the ship from Cozumel and immediately call them and go, "Hey, look, I know it's just a couple hours before the dinner. We are super tired. We're not going to make it." Cruise line didn't even have a chance to pull somebody off of the wait list and have them fill that spot. Instead, she just simply didn't show up at all, and the hostess had to call her and ask why she wasn't there. But of course, it's not her fault. She's the victim here. When she was speaking to the hostess was just extremely rude and nasty to her. When she went down to guest services, they were extremely nasty and rude to her. But have you ever noticed that anytime somebody doesn't get their way immediately, that is one of the very first things they always say? That so and so was rude and nasty to me. It's almost like scripted material. I got told, no, they're rude. I'm looking for that one refreshing day when someone says, "Oh, hell, I screwed up and this is what happened to me." But it did prompt the survey. It prompted the survey to ask the question, should there be prepayment of specialty restaurants? And 24,919 people voted agreeing, saying that Carnival's policy of prepayment for chef's table and specialty restaurants should be there, with just that one little bitty sliver down there that says, "I do not agree with Carnival's policy of prepayment." And I'm pretty sure the person that started all this, she's probably the one that checked that particular box. But if you are ever wondering why cruise lines have you prepay for dining reservations at the chef's table in some specialty restaurants, this cruise passenger is exactly why. Because she had no intention of telling him. She had no intention of letting him know. She made no effort to let somebody else take her spot. She simply went to her cabin, did her own thing, and it was the hostess that had to find out what was even going on. So no, hell no, no refund for you. And surprise, surprise, turns out that the majority of people that voted agree with the prepayment as well. And that's going to be our video this week for the survey edition of what every cruiser wants. And I guess I was mistaken at the beginning. I came on this episode, I came on the show saying I had some experts that were going to help us, that they were going to let us know what was wrong with cruising and what needed to change. And it turns out that they are not the majority. They don't know. They don't speak for everyone. And maybe, just maybe, we should stop listening to those people altogether. But what do you guys think? Are you in the majority? Are you in the minority? Are you one of the ones that's ready to write in a comment that can be put to the survey test to find out, are you right? Are you wrong? Maybe you do speak for everybody. Now, if you've enjoyed today's video, do me a favor and hit that like button. If you haven't done so yet, do me a favor and hit subscribe. It's free to do so. It helps our channel grow. Let you know anytime we put out a new video. I mean, do you really want to miss my cruising experts? Hope everyone out there's having a really great day and a really great weekend. And like always, we'll see you out on the high seas.